While working in certain views, such as floor plans, Revit automatically infers the active work plane. However, when working in 3D and other types of views, it is useful to set a new work plane to ensure that the elements you are creating will be placed accurately. In this sample project, I'm currently viewing the default 3D view. On the Systems ribbon, in the Workplane panel, click the Show Workplane tool. A blue gridded plane appears at level 1. When I rotate and zoom in on the model, you can see that this visible indication of the active workplane moves with the model. The spacing of the workplane grid may be adjusted by selecting the element and changing the value on the options bar. The orientation of the workplane grid may be adjusted using the Rotate tool located in the Modify panel of the Modify Workplane Grid contextual ribbon. You may also change the extents of the grid when it is selected by using the edge grips. I'll switch back to the Systems ribbon. Notice that in the Workplane panel, if I click the Workplane Viewer tool, Revit displays a temporary view that can be undocked and resized. In this view, elements that have been placed using the selected workplane appear in a normal line weight, while everything else appears in grayscale. Realize that no detail items, annotations, or other view references appear in this viewer. The default orientation of this view is parallel to the selected workplane. You can reorient this view using its view cube. Note that the Workplane Viewer does not create a view in the project browser. Close the viewer when you are finished. When you switch to a floor plan view, the active workplane automatically resets to the current associated level. I will open the Plumbing Floor Plan view, and then in the Workplane panel, I'll click the Set tool. Revit displays the workplane dialog. As you can see, the active workplane is set to level 2. I'll click Cancel. When you select the viewer from a plan view, you get a bit of a different result. From the Systems ribbon, click Workplane Viewer. Once I begin rotating the view, you will see a section box. This relates directly to the floor plan's view range and crop region, but can be changed. For example, I can select the section box and use the blue double arrows to isolate an area or show additional model elements. I'll close the viewer. Now, in the project browser, I'll open the Main Electrical Distribution section view. Then I'll click the Set tool to open the workplane dialog. This time, the active workplane is not yet established. In the dialog, you can see that the Pick a Plane option is the default selection. If you want to add workplane-based elements to this view, you can first select an object or specify the workplane before you add the component. I'll click Cancel and then go back to the default 3D view. To understand the object or datum that is associated with the active workplane, in the Workplane panel, I'll click the Set tool again. As you can see, the current workplane is level 1. If I click to expand the list of available named workplanes, I can choose a level, grid, or any named reference planes in the project. You can also use the Pick a Plane or Pick a Line options. I'll choose Pick a Plane and then click OK. Notice that in the status bar, you can see that Revit is prompting me to pick a plane. I can now select the surface of any element in the model. I'll press and hold the Shift key and the roller wheel on the mouse to orbit around the model and then pick the surface of a wall. Now, if I want, I can place elements directly in this 3D view by using the active workplane. For example, I'll switch to the Architecture ribbon, and then in the Model panel, I'll click the Model Text tool. In the Edit Text dialog, I'll type a number, let's say 12, and then click OK. Now I can move the cursor over the wall and click to place the model text on the new work plane.